Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship here in Katowice, Poland. I'm still your host, Jared Kale, and we have seen some pretty cool matches today. The next one, sure to be the coolest, because for the first time today, there's no Protoss players. Lol, just kidding. Please welcome to stage your first player, StarDust. And his opponent, a Terran from Team Liquid. Please welcome TaeJa. Now we'll head back to the expert desk and they'll keep talking about how awesome this game is.
We absolutely will carry on talking about how awesome this game is, regardless of whether there's a Protoss in. Thank you, Mr. Jared Kale. StarDust versus TaeJa. This is like the ultimate battle of the European Koreans. These two have just had a monster amount of matches last year in European tournaments. They really have just travelled far and wide. We know TaeJa's record, ridiculous last year, and the year before that. We had Summer of TaeJa, of course, in 2012, and we pretty much had Summer and Winter of TaeJa last year.
Yeah, it was the year of, well, Hearthstone, but TaeJa as well.
TaeJa's up there, he's up there.
Yeah.
I still prefer Year of Hearthstone.
I do too. Every year is Hearthstone year.
Okay.
Well, these map vetoes going through. Looks like Alterzim going to be taken out, as well as Frost.
I mean, of all maps that I would not want to play TaeJa on, it's Alterzim Stronghold, where he drops in 3 positions and then just actually drives you crazy.
That's a good point. And you know what? TaeJa is one of the Terrans. Like, there's a few Terrans that do very well versus Protoss right now, but TaeJa's the one that can play the supreme late game. This guy doesn't care. He'll make planetary Viking ghosts all day long.
And then StarDust picks Yonsu as his first map. So this kind of gives us maybe a bit of an indication as to what he might want to do.
Well, I mean, StarDust has always been this aggressive type of player that I feel like smaller maps really behoove him. He really likes to get out there, mix it up early, keep the pressure on, and try to finish his opponent off.
But one thing that's really cool about StarDust is that, yes, he did a lot of that cheesy stuff before, but now, like, when we watch his macro games, like in WCS or in Intel Extreme Masters as well, he's really on top of it. He's performing so much better in macro games than he ever did previously.
Yeah, that's actually very true. And, you know, everything I hear from all the Europeans is StarDust plays all day, every day. Yeah. If you queue up, you're going to hit StarDust several times a day if you're one of the top players, because he just never stops practicing right now.
Okay, these two are going to get settled into their homes for the next, well, maybe hour and a half, who knows? We don't know how long these games are going to go.
Could be 10 minutes, we don't know. It's happening.
10 minutes for a best of 5?
Who would have guessed? Sometimes.
Oh yeah, we've had one of those today. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. Let's start with StarDust. It's an interesting fact that he has just one title to his name, and it is a European title. It's a DreamHack, of course. But he really, I think he really came out last year in the terms that... Okay.
That's a cool point of view. I hope he posts that on Twitter later.
Hold on, let me get my camera. No, StarDust, put it back. Let me take a picture of you taking a picture of them.
I really wanted to like tweet it out. He's like, this is my view.
That's fantastic.
Someone's going to have to explain to me what this picture is. It sounds like Inception to me.
It does. It's kind of Inceptional, yes. But yes, StarDust. Great photographer, obviously. But we're going to start off with TaeJa. Okay, fine. We'll go to TaeJa. 19-year-old. Now, I mentioned earlier on, MC's 22, Liquid Heroes 23. This guy's got more titles to his name than either of them, and he's 19. How is that possible?
I don't know how that works. I feel like by now he should be 30 like I am.
You know, here's the thing as well. I actually spoke to Bumblebee before this tournament. I was like, dude, why isn't TaeJa like ever at Intel Extreme Masters? Because he's he's played like 2 series throughout the qualifiers, and that's about it. And in the end, he goes so far in other tournaments, and he goes so deep in other tournaments that he has no time to play until Extreme Masters. So he is so good, he can't come and play.
Like something like that. But here's some facts for you. 3 DreamHack titles, the only man in history to do so. 2 Home Story Cups, an MLG, and 2 Aces ROG tournaments as well.
Are you joking me?
No, but...
Are you kidding, Red Eye?
There is something missing.
Are you pulling my leg? That is so many titles.
It is, but there is something missing from the TaeJa trophy cabinet.
What
and
is
it's an Intel Extreme Master.
He's not here, man. He's never here.
So he has an opportunity now, and I know that he really wants to make this count.
I mean,
and if he's going to make it count anywhere, he joked earlier on last year, if you remember, about prize money. He said, why do I always win the ones with the less prize money for first place? If he's going to make one count, there's 100 grand for first place this time.
That is for certain.
That would be a good one to win.
And you know what? This is like Intel Extreme Masters. People don't seem to realize this is such an old and legitimate tournament as well. It's definitely something that you want to have a win for, especially with a cup like that. That cup even has Todd's name on it. It's like so awesome.
It's so old.
That's how old it is.
They were playing in black and white back when he was playing.
Certainly. 4x3 CRT monitors and everything.
Competitive Zork. That's how old it is.
I think he was a Minesweeper champion. I can't quite recall though.
We are ready almost for the game to begin. But before we get there, predictions, gentlemen. The predictions have been going on all day long for all of the matches. Thank you so much for visiting our page. If you haven't already done so, you can go to facebook.com/IEM. Like the page if you haven't already, and then click on the tab, and you'll be able to predict all of the matches, and maybe you'll be able to match our Tosis. Right now, the community has spoken.
Yeah.
And TaeJa is their favorite by 88%.
Dude.
That's incredible, because I have a feeling that's a similar ratio to the experts and the commentators.
I think you might be right on that, but that's still like ridiculous.
Let's have a look at who's picked. Well, actually, it's a little bit like, because Todd has also gone with Kalaris.
Well,
I'm
by
astounded.
proxy.
Well, Kalaris, I don't want to break this to you.
Yeah.
But Todd's not doing too well right now.
No, he's not.
You probably shouldn't agree with Todd.
No, I know.
There is an alternative curse going down, and it's kind of French.
Yeah, is it? Well, I don't have any French blood in me, so I'm okay. But the interesting... Okay, so I need to explain myself a little bit here. But in the end, this was my wild card pick.
Right, okay.
Our producer...
This was your duck innovation pick.
Yeah, I guess so. Our producer, it was like, come on, man, you're picking all these, normal ones. I'm like... All right, fine, I'll pick StarDust. But I actually, I think the StarDust has a better chance than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Sure. Of course, TaeJa is that powerhouse, that guy you look to for consistency, continuity. I mean, you could argue that he is one of the most consistent players throughout StarCraft 2 history, with how many records he constantly has across the past year, etc. But StarDust, man, his macro games are looking pretty darn good as of late. He looks really cool.
Okay, you've justified your job. Our Tosis has gone with TaeJa. He's the guy that's gone with the sensible option. And one of our commentators has as well. Let's go over to them now for our wonderful game. And it's Apollo and Todd.
Right, thank you very much, Red Eye, and welcome to the next game here, the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. And we're about to break now the lower side of the round of 16 for the first time today. And we can pretty much jump straight into this, Todd, because we are now ready to start this. And I hope your predictions are going to start to turn as we go into the lower sides.
Can we start with this?
I mean...
Kylar has joined the Rejects Club here.
It is going to be a big game. You're excited for this. I'm excited for this. We'll talk about it in a second as we do introduce both of these two players. And down here, in the bottom left-hand side of Yonsu, as the red Protoss player, playing for my insanity, it's StarDust. And I do like a bit of Terran myself, so gonna come up here to introduce this one as well. Up here to the top right, playing for Team Liquid, it's TaeJa.
We were just talking about the weather. And you were saying there is a heat wave,
well,
and somehow it feels like summer to you?
The thing is, in Europe right now, it might as well be summer for me, because it's been recently 20 degrees in Germany, and that is my English summer. So if we're going to go by that and say, is it summer or not, in my book, yes, TaeJa is going to do well in this tournament.
As ridiculous as it sounds, I understand your reasoning.
It's a perfectly valid reason. Todd, tell me why you are excited. You've been on about this all day. Why are you excited for this series?
Because it's the first time we're gonna see, well, for me, that I'm gonna cast, I'm gonna try to make this simple, a PVT since the patch, since the Widowmine change. And that's the biggest question mark for me on this match. How many Widowmines are we going to see? How is this going to affect StarDust? Is he going to play Blink and Colossus more than he would play a Chargelot, Templar, Archon before? And yeah, that's just, I want to know. I want to know. And up until he throws down that Robo Bay or the Twilight or goes for upgrades, chooses his tech path, I'm going to keep wondering. I want to know what he goes for. And TaeJa as well. TaeJa, does he play it old school or does he go for a lot of Widowmines like we've seen a lot of Terrans do since the patch?
Well, the opening builds here from both sides, just very generic, just very standardized. It's going to be a Reaper expansion with a reactor straight away and taking out a gas here for TaeJa.
Yeah, actually, this is a surprise.
Yeah?
A lot of Terrans, they leave more SCVs in the gas to throw down a very quick factory behind this. Why? Because Widowmines are that much stronger. There used to be a time where if you did this, you'd die to a Stalker attack. But now, with that splash on the units and the shields being removed, it's going to be that much stronger. But no, TaeJa, he doesn't care. He goes for a second barracks. We could be seeing a bit of a Pult build here.
And the Reaper does go in there, kills a probe, has a look around, and then does decide to leave here. If you were to describe StarDust style in 3 words, what 3 words are they?
Colossus, Blink, War Prism. War Prism is 2 words. Oh, Prism.
Prism.
Cheating.
Those are 3 words to describe StarDust. Okay. I have 1 word to describe TaeJa.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
You love to hype these Terrans. Flash wins, he's a god. Bunny wins, he's the chosen one. Now we have the perfect guy.
Yeah, just you wait. This is TaeJa's tournament, man.
The perfect player with TaeJa here.
8 StarCraft 2 championships, man, in a couple of years.
Sometimes he does look perfect. Is it going to be one of those times? You know, it's funny because TaeJa, remember when he said he wants to win tournaments where there is more money?
Yeah.
And now this is like the tournament where there is the most money. Like,
I know, yeah. When Claris brought it up, Claris was mentioning about why TaeJa doesn't got an IEM. And then why is he here now? Well, guys, there's $100,000 on the line. TaeJa wants to win it. He scouted the Robo, by the way, which is a good pickup there for TaeJa. He knows it's going to be just a standardized game coming from StarDust. It means that there's not going to be any early aggression from StarDust from the get-go here.
This is a completely the Pult build. He's putting the Marines where Pult will put them at this point in the game. And he can go for a counter-attack. He can see attacks coming his way. TaeJa is so confident that he doesn't even get a bunker. I mean, he saw the Robo. He saw there was only one gateway. But against somebody like StarDust, you never know for sure what you're going to be up against. And I think this might actually be why we had TaeJa remove Frost. Because he removed Frost.
Yes, he did.
Does not happen. I don't think I've ever seen a series without Frost, even in the best of 3. And now in the best of 5, it was removed. Like, what's happened to you? Have you had nightmares and stuff? Bad stuff happened to you on this map? Did people have Dark Shrine in corners of the map?
Are you scared of that Nexus in that bottom corner, TaeJa? All right, so TaeJa's gone for his factory down. It's just a very, I mean, any Terran matchup usually is very scripted usually. It's very, you kind of see the same builds a lot. And this is once again a very similar thing here. StarDust with a probe on patrol is sacrificed for the greater good. And the greater good is that he has a bit more of a reaction time here. He's got a cannon finish because he hasn't actually seen anything yet. So that's, I suppose, an anticipation for potentially seeing factory play. But we do see now the Robotics Bay and the Twilight Council coming down.
So when you see this, for sure, you know it's going to be Colossus plus Blink. At least a lot of the time.
You got 2 of the 3 words right so far in the first 8 minutes.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Just keep an eye on that Robo. Oh, Scans goes down in the main. Seeing a Robo, 1 gate, and Robo like this, a lot of the time it's going to be what he's up against, but sometimes it's going to be DTs. And
it's all 3 words! At the 8-minute 15 mark.
The thought curse does not exist, at least in worst prediction. You watch, Artos.
There is Blink actually. There's 100% Blink. Yep, you got everything at 8 minutes 30.
Oh wow, those units, a little bit out of position here. StarDust has to be careful.
Hiding in the bushes.
It's pretty cool aggression by TaeJa. Even this move out. And by the way, StarDust didn't even scout early on in the game. So this observer, this was delayed from going across the map and spotting exactly what he's up against. Well, I guess he's about to find out though. Oh my god, there's so many units.
There is a lot of units here. He goes straight for the main base, picking off 2 Stalkers and a Sentry immediately. There's a lot of bio here. There's a lot of Marines, and he's going straight for the Cybernetics core. Second photon
Get
overcharge.
to the safe zone. He's in between 2 photon overcharge.
Well, this is like the red light as he's crossing the road. He's like, oh, right, let me just hold on. Oh my god,
that Colossus is going to have a field day, man. Actually, as the photon overcharge ends in the natural, I think TaeJa is going to get in there. Or does he go for the Colossus, you think, upon spotting it? Oh, he's gonna go for the expansion. Look, he's going for a sandwich. He has units on the right-hand side. 4 turnover charge is about to finish here. But, well, this Colossus is done.
Oh, no, he's not going to go for it. He's going to come out with all of his units. Going to go for probes here. Turns around. Stalkers, 1, 2, and third one's going to go down. Colossus is like, which way do I go? And
I was a bit skeptical, but I think he traded well enough.
Yeah, and behind this, TaeJa's got his third down. He's got +1 attack on the way. And, well, the game does slow down for a little bit now.
It's going to be time for that War Prism to come into action here. For StarDust, he's warped in a few Zealots.
Yeah.
How many gates is he?
That would be nice to really kind of get something down himself here.
StarDust is on 7 gates. He could actually go for aggression with this. If he goes for like some harassment with Zealots, kills some SCVs, and then goes for a 2-base, 3 Colossus timing, this could be quite deadly.
Oh, stim forward here, and he gets 1 probe and a bit of damage done to the shields of that Zealot, and then we'll back out here. But the War Prism's on its way towards the main base here. 4 Zealots, and there are no units there, and this is going to catch TaeJa off guard.
This is going to be really good. StarDust has 7 gateways in total. Some of them are on cooldown right now, but he can warp quite a few units with this.
TaeJa sees and everything retreated. Do you think he sets up for an attack now, or does this give him room to maybe take a third?
Yeah, either. But since he's cut pro production, I do think StarDust is going to go for an attack.
Yeah, well, is that a probe to the top left?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he has the War Prism to reinforce with his main army.
Yeah.
This is very, very scary here for timing that StarDust could hit.
7 Stalkers just walked in there on the right-hand side.
0
Blink
Vikings
done.
against the 3rd Colossus about to come out. Thermal Lance is on the way as well. Ooh. And he's going to get chased down.
TaeJa has got to maybe think about getting rid of that 3rd base, because that's not going to really last long in this game. But TaeJa's moving down to this left-hand side. He's going to pick up.
Yeah, he's threatening basically a counter-attack. Whoa!
Snap that neck. Grabs that medivac.
Medivacs don't have necks.
Snap that medivac in half. All right.
Oh, is he going to catch the units? The Colossus almost walks in there.
Oh, where are you going? All right, to the hills. So far, the Viking count's starting to rise now. There are 2 starports, but we do see on this right-hand side, War Prism's still around, and it's going to get into the 3rd base here.
Those mules, man.
As we can see, StarDust is setting up for an attack. TaeJa has a supply, but there is a supply advantage. There's no bunkers, though. There's not that many Vikings, and there's a lot of units still down in the bottom left as well.
Yeah, but oh my god, this army is so scary for StarDust. He starts charge and armor upgrade level 2 anyway. I really thought he was going to commit for an attack with lots of Stalkers, and he might have been able to win if he had done that, but now the Viking count's already getting pretty high. 7 out on the map right now, 8th one about to come out. He's going to get that orbital command. This is a great pickup here.
Nice there by StarDust. TaeJa still has these 2 medivacs, which have unloaded and now come down to the natural. He's targeting it down. Not too sure if he can get it here. Photon Overcharge is activated. He will pick up and move his units. And StarDust likewise brings everything back.
It's really cool that War Prism is still alive, because TaeJa has to be really careful not to get dropped again by that. He has to keep... Oh, those medivacs, their necks are going to be snapped.
Oh,
that's one of them.
That's nice there for StarDust. And is there an opportunity to TaeJa to use his Viking count now?
Yeah.
He's been rising it and rising it. It's at 8 and he's still adding on more.
He's on 2 starports. This is interesting. Look at the production tab. TaeJa went for double... What?
He just leaves. He's not happy with that.
He had the equal supply.
Equal supply at that point, but he's...
Yeah, but you know, he went for double eBay and an armory.
Yeah.
He didn't even start upgrade, so I thought he was going to pull SCVs and go for an attack. Now he gets some medivac picked off. He's like,
yeah, whatever.
I probably don't have enough. Let's just move on to the next game. I'm going to try to do better, but I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
This was a bit of an Hydra GG timing here. He had exactly the same supply, 132 against his opponent here. And I guess it was a pretty scary situation. StarDust, he had a lot of Colossus, but he also had charge about to complete. +2 ground armor, whereas TaeJa was still 1-1. 1-1 against 1-2, plus charge and Blink and Colossus.
Yeah.
Pretty scary, but that's no Storm yet.
I feel that move there from TaeJa just to say, you know what, I surrender, is more of a... I'm actually a little bit disappointed in my game there. That's the kind of attitude I feel from TaeJa. He's not kind of like, you know, screw you kind of attitude. It's more like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Let's just reset. Let's just leave this league and reset my account and go back to 0-0 stats and let's play again. Or...
Sadly for him, he's going to be down by 1 game here.
Yeah,
you know, I saw a crazy series like this before. I think it was WCG in China, where this one player, Infi, he was playing against Fly 100%. And in the first game, he got destroyed so hard that I thought he was probably going to be destroyed mentally. But this one guy, he starts losing really, really hard, Infi. and he just leaves the game instantly. He sees that there is no way he's going to come back, which in this game there was still a way, I think, for TaeJa, but he just leaves and he moves on to the next game. And then he won 2-1. So this can be a nice thing to do if you want to stay focused, if you don't want to waste your time in the game, you're quite far behind. But this time, I don't think he was that far behind.
No, I don't think he was that far behind at all.
I've seen sicker comebacks than this.
Yeah.
I've seen Terrence being quite much further behind than this and coming back, especially against me. Or when MVP was playing.
Well, StarDust picks up map number 1 here in this best of 5 series. And if you were to just say, all right, TaeJa did this wrong. What is that he did wrong? Was he overly aggressive a little bit? Was he not really respecting StarDust a lot in that game, I think maybe?
Upon realizing that you're playing against Blink Colossus, you can only get so many medivacs, because then you need to start making Vikings to be able to defend against the Colossi. In this case, he was too aggressive. He lost the medivacs, they got their next snap, as you said, and from there, he had to remake medivacs. He was in an awkward position, he missed his timing, and this was just bad.
All right, well, map number 2 now, going over to Habitation Station, and up here to the top left, playing for my insanity, it's StarDust. Currently 1 game ahead, and then over to the other side, kind of this map.
In the middle of the map.
In the middle of the map, playing for Team Liquid, it's TaeJa.
TaeJa, who's definitely been following the return of Marine King.
Yes, he's a big fan, I've heard.
You think he goes for like a big marine aggression with like a bunch of barracks?
Does he need to be aggressive anyway?
It's like
it's because
I've never seen Terran take this base as first, like he did now, just lift off and go for it. So I feel like he's gonna be in an awkward position. You know, like how do you move out and like take a natural expansion that's close to your main and that's secure?
Well. All right, these got a barracks coming down at 10 supply here, and StarDust is sending out a probe scout. Imagine the first thing that says that the StarDust is going to say as he enters the main base. He's going to be like, "Huh? What's going on here? Wait a minute. Is it?
Oh, is he going to check the gold first?
No. Oh yeah. He may have seen the SCV or something mining, and he goes up there and he's like, "What?"
For a second, I was with you. I guess makes sense.
And he's like, "Really? Okay."
Mining. And this is a gas opener by TaeJa here, by the way.
Yeah.
I really expected at least 2 barracks just to make sure he's safe, but to be honest, it doesn't take that long to fly to this base and start mining from it.
Well, I don't think he's. I mean, I think it just may be just a normal game for him, but going for the gold base here, I'm sure StarDust is
What's
very
the normal game
surprised.
from there? He gets the second command center, spam mules, mines out in like 1 second.
That's right, man. He goes over to the other side, takes his main base back. Takes the other gold base.
PFC.
I mean, at the moment, StarDust is like, what? I'm not even sure StarDust would have played against this before.
Yes, second gateway. I think he's going to be quite aggressive here with a bunch of stalkers. But those stalkers, they cannot shoot those mineral patches or SCVs from down there. They would have to go up the ramp. And I think TaeJa, upon realizing this might be what's up, he just gets a bunker and is safe.
Well, look at TaeJa. He's got a reactor on 1 barracks, straight to reactor. He's most likely just going to get a tech lab on the other one here and then go for like...
Or maybe a
concussive shells?
Support? You don't think a factory in support for this?
I don't think so, no. It'll take way too long, especially upon seeing this. I think a tech lab into... Does he go stim? Does he want to wait a little bit and try stim first? Does he want to go concussive shells first? 1 base. I'm not sure if I've seen this somewhere. I may have heard about this where it could be 1 base, 2 barracks, and a factory up to starport pretty fast.
That could be quite scary, especially on this map where it's very easy to drop.
I can't also think who did it.
It will put StarDust in a weird position himself. Whoa!
Yeah,
what's up?
This is a bit of a bizarre game here.
Yeah. I think he wanted to go for like bio plus some Widow Mines, proxied. And StarDust is in a position where like, he's like, what do I do?
I know.
If I expand and he throws a lot of units at me, I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna play it safe, I'm gonna get 2 gateways. Then he gets a Zealot and a Sentry. This is like Zelnaga Caverns in the good old times. This is like really weird of a game. He doesn't know how to adjust, I think, right now. By the way, oh my god, did StarDust forget warp gates? He's getting warp gate quite late. 5 minutes 30 and he's not even halfway through done. He's getting mass gateway units. Like from this is a brood war game, man. He's just getting like,
this is
like no warp gate for me. I'm just getting them, the units old school.
Well, this has definitely been want to learn that. I mean, is he going to take an expansion here?
Yeah, I think it's the right choice. He's getting a robo before that. Man,
no, it's 2 extra barracks first. Stardust is like...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Stardust.
Yeah, I mean, Stardust comes up now and he's like, wait, that's 2 extra barracks here. You've already got 1, maybe 2 old base. What
oh my
is
God!
This?
Does he leave? Oh no! What? Say something, Apollo. I know you're in shock, but say something. I think TaeJa, he really wanted to cheese here. He wanted to hide barracks. And I think Stardust watches Marine King's games.
That's
because he knew, even not against Protoss, he knew there was going to be something out on the map, something proxied, and he scouted for it, and he spotted it twice. And he's like, you know what? This is not going to work. I'm going to play it safe. Even if I forget Wargate, I'm going to have a robo, I'm going to have Mothership Core, I'm going to delay my expansion. I'm not going to lose to your cheese. He spots everything, and TaeJa is like, you know what? Let's go now. Let's go. Move on to the next map. Dude, say something. You're the main caster. God damn it, I'm the analyst.
I am completely gobsmacked right now. This is not how I expected this series to play out. This is different, Todd. I think that's the best way to describe it. This is really, really weird here. TaeJa's down 0-2 against StarDust. TaeJa's down 0-2 in 2 very different games.
You think he's been hanging out with Adra or something? You mean on Skype calls?
I was going to say someone else, but I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's too soon.
We all know. No?
Oh dear, yeah. All right.
One caster is like, what happened, Todd? I didn't even notice.
He's like talking
I will answer him, ask Apollo.
He's talking to his co-caster, he looks back in the game and the game's finished. He's like, what is going on in this series?
Did he disconnect?
All right.
This is a tough loss for TaeJa here.
He's down 0-2 versus a very, very dangerous opponent. We know what Stardust is capable of.
Yes. It's crazy how Stardust found those proxies, though. Like, this has to be frustrating for TaeJa here.
Wow. Do you not think, though, that even though you can argue that TaeJa is playing from a disadvantageous position in both games, that he can still play longer in that second game as well as the first? You thought that in the first game, you think he can still play that longer? You mentioned Stardust doesn't even have Warp Gate, right? He's messed up with his Warp Gate research. He's on 1 base, 2 gateway.
The thing is, like, we see everything again, but TaeJa, he maybe thought there was an earlier expansion than there was. He maybe thought, he didn't know that Stardust forgot Warp Gate for the longest time. Like, he wasn't gonna die anytime soon. He was gonna be behind on tech, because he was on 2 barracks, no factory. And he just wanted to try cheese. There was transitions possible out of this, but he probably thought he was more behind than he actually was.
Well,
if I was TaeJa's coach, I would step inside of that booth with a stick.
Bro, just play till the end, man. Float your barracks to the corners and make him kill every structure you have left. That's the way to win a StarCraft 2 game. All right. Time to get ready into the next map. Can TaeJa make this comeback, or is Stardust just going to enter this? And remember, what was it, 12% of people or something thought Stardust would win? He's currently 2 games up against Liquid TaeJa, who won 5 tournaments or something in the last 6 months or something. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And here we are into the next map, Heavy Rain, and down here, in a very swift series so far, as the red Protoss player, for my insanity, it's StarDust.
The Autosys took some time to intensify enough to be in full effect, but no, it is in full effect.
And up here was the blue Terran playing for Team Liquid, found himself 0-2 very fast here. It's TaeJa.
Wow, TaeJa, I really don't know what to expect out of him here now. After those first 2 games, he's much better than this. He can do so much better than this. I'm really surprised because Team Liquid players, when they show up to a tournament, not seeing them go up to the finals and play against each other, it's like,
I know.
Which, by the way, no, actually, not having a team kill
I was going to say,
in the round of 8.
Where's the team kill?
Is like a big surprise. But now in this tournament, TaeJa, he could lose here in the first round, and here losing the first round. This is very, very surprising results here.
Yeah. And I can just imagine Stardust probe, not so much Stardust, but the probe at the front here is like, oh All right, well, I just want to see if this guy's actually lifted up his command center again, or does he even have any barracks? Is he going command center? What is going on in this series? As the probe's going to move up now and get confirmation that this is a barracks and then a 15 gas, I think that is. So with a barracks and then gas at this point, he's going to play 2 Marines into a reactor pretty fast, still have a command center, but most likely be going up towards a factory here, which is what we've seen so commonly so recently.
Yeah, and which could be very, very good. This is, again, I had a big question mark on this matchup here and on these 2 players facing each other. It's still here, because those first 2 games, they were not your regular PVT and TaeJa, man. I'm very surprised and kind of disappointed in a way. I really hope he comes back in this. And this is a series I really want to see 5 games out of. And not the same kind of game we just saw. I want to see TaeJa obviously winning those 2 next ones to tie it up. And just by playing some solid Terran, which he's capable of it.
Well, that's what TaeJa has been so well known for over the years, is if you think about one of the hardest things as a Terran player to do is to be able to control the Vikings, Bioball, and Ghost super in such a way that it looks just everything's being connected together. And TaeJa was one of the first players to make that look easy when it is very, very different. So he's definitely capable of going the distance, playing a long game, and just winning outright. You know, but in this game, has one game gone past the 15-minute mark yet?
Well, and
the
if it
did, the answer's no.
If it did, it wouldn't be your standard game. But you know, it's no secret StarCraft 2 is very competitive, and there is actually a term, it's probably not even proper English, that a lot of people use, even Koreans. It's called your mental being broken. If your mindset is broken by losing too much in a matchup, by doing bad in it, you're just gonna play bad. And I think this might be what happened here. I talked about it with Hero. I really think that Hero's mindset against Zerg was kind of broken from all the practice he got against it. He probably got a ton of losses. It's very, very hard to deal with many losses when you practice, especially in Korea, because you're gonna lose a lot, believe me. I've been there, and you're gonna lose more than 50% of your games on some days. And when you're one of the best players, you have to question yourself, am I seriously that bad? Like, what is going on? But the thing is, StarCraft is so competitive that it's gonna happen. And now TaeJa, it really feels like his mental is actually broken versus Protoss right now. He's just trying crazy stuff that is not working out, that is leaving games early.
Well, he's going for 4 Hellions here, which we don't see that commonly. The goal of this is to build a Medivac from the starport and then pick up the Hellions, or the Marines, depending on which way he wants to do this, and then just try to aim for the probes here. There are going to be 3 gateways, not that far away here. Obviously, this would be better if StarDust was trying to play a little bit greedy, maybe trying to go Forge and Robo Bail at the same time, but it's Robo straight up towards 3 gateways, but he finds a couple of probes there, and that's a nice start to this. Another one there donated, and even another one left alone, sorry buddy, on the natural. And he's going to turn around and fight these Stalkers. There is the Mothership Core to help out, and there are 3 gateways finished. Just needs to turn warp gate a few seconds away, sorry.
Yeah, you really underestimated this.
Yeah.
If TaeJa leaves now, I'm going to go nuts. Or if StarDust leaves now.
Oh my god, yeah.
StarDust really underestimated this. He saw a few Marines, he's like, you know what, it's just a few Marines. But then as soon as the Hellions showed up, his Mothership Core was out of position to use the Photon Overcharge on the natural, which is originally what he would have needed to hold this comfortably.
Well, look at this, StarDust warping in 3 Stalkers on the other side of the map here.
He's going to counter-attack. Don't, TaeJa, if you leave. TaeJa is in a good position, to be honest.
There's even an Immortal being built here from StarDust. He's just going for it here.
Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't have a bunker yet. This is going to be cancelled. He's going to have to pull SCVs, but he has the Widowmine on the way.
Yeah. And no detection, no observer.
No, there is an observer in the middle of the map.
Oh, there is? Okay,
yeah, that's not moving though.
Well, it looks like he's going to get a lot of these Stalkers being dealt damage. 3 more get warped in here. SCV's chasing, Widowmine planted behind. And StarDust, good control there, is targeting down the units, actually dealing the damage at the back.
And StarDust is doing a lot of damage, but he has to. He's committed so much to this. He's cut probe production. He's down to 23 probes against 32 SCVs. TaeJa is still quite far ahead. He has to defend this. Yeah, but the observer's coming in now.
And with this build...
Oh, the Widowmine is reloaded, sorry.
Okay, the Widowmine is going to be useful to get a bit of damage done.
Oh, but
the observer's coming here.
Oh,
all right,
wow.
well, that's not going to be useful then. And he sees it. Well, you'd expect him to see it.
Dude, it's
raining.
He does
now. Well, this is a bit of a problem. This is a bit of a problem because with this build, there's no stim, there's no real upgrades for this bio, there's a single bunker, but there's also an Immortal there. TaeJa has no idea, he's going to poke forward and be like, all right, this guy's still outside my base.
Oh, he needs to pull back, what is he doing? TaeJa, you need to pull
SCVs here, because if not, this bunker's instantly dead. The bunker dies straight out, and StarDust is just walking with this at the moment. More SUVs get pulled over. There's a little bit of a supply advantage here for TaeJa. The Immortal gets picked off.
He's gonna hold, he's okay. The thing is, I'm really afraid he misreads this and leaves. More than him not being able to hold. He's gonna hold quite comfortably here, and this should be the first win here for TaeJa. Because StarDust...
Yeah, I mean, they're both so low when it comes to probes and SCVs.
Yeah, but he kills so many SCVs. I thought TaeJa was a little bit more further ahead than this. But being on 3 barracks, he's making so many use. Oh, nice micro.
Hot pickup. Marauder's there. And nice micro from TaeJa. And it seems like he's starting to stabilize a little bit now. And it is only Stalkers.
StarDust has no tech behind.
There's no tech, there's no forge, there's only the robotics facility, which offers him the option to go up towards robotics bay. And TaeJa is not too far away from Stim. So as dangerous as that the last couple of minutes seemed, it's not that bad now.
Really good micro here by StarDust, able to pick off a lot of those units. But TaeJa, his build was good enough, barely good enough to get a lot of bioforces out and hold this and possibly secure himself this game. But hold on, he's gonna go for a big drop. Not leaving much at home to help and defend against this.
No, there's the mothership call there, but Stalker's actually just run right past the bunker and kill off a couple of units and also the medivac there. But this drop is actually rather painful with Stim.
I see a dead
6
Nexus.
seconds away. You do?
In the main or natural, wherever TaeJa chooses to go. And StarDust gonna try and defend against this. Getting some Stalkers here. The mothership core might get sniped before getting the second photon overcharge on the expansion.
Well, either way, TaeJa's dealing a lot of damage here. Stalkers get the Citizen's Arrest onto these ones.
Oh, Artos is pylon.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm so happy you didn't hear that. But
I was looking at him to see his reaction.
And it looks like TaeJa is starting to maybe make a comeback here, Todd. As he's picking off the last couple of pylons. There's more units coming across the map. 23 army supply to 7. And this series has not been what we've expected at all.
This was a solid win here by TaeJa. And you have to wonder, if the first 2 games hadn't gone the way they went, would StarDust really have tried this funky attack here that he did?
Once the photon overcharge goes down here, there's hardly anything for StarDust to defend. He's got, I mean, what is his probe count? His probe count's at 26. That's 26 of his actual supply there. Half his supply in army. And that's not looking too good for him here. And with +1 attack about to be done, combat shields 2. GG. And TaeJa gets 1 for himself.
Half his supply in walkers. I was gonna say that sounds like one of Red's games, which is actually twice as more walkers than army. For the first 10 minutes.
For the first 10 minutes.
Game of Drones.
All right, Todd. 3 games down. Half an hour in. What are your thoughts so far with this epic series that we've unfolded?
This is one of the weirdest series I've ever seen, I think, so far. But this was at least more standard than the first 2 games, especially by TaeJa. Going for the aggression he went for early on. StarDust misreading this a little bit, losing a few probes. Then he was like, you know what? I'm up 2 games. Screw that. I'm just going to go for an attack and try to end it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm going to have 2 more chances. And it didn't work. TaeJa's defense was pretty good.
Well, TaeJa stopped the series spiraling out of control there, because with that loss, he would have been out, and unfortunately, Team Liquid would have had a bit of a disappointing tournament. Both players would have gone out. But he's dropped the anchor, some may say, and slowed down this ship.
SOS is up 2-1 against Oz right now on the B stream, which is being managed by Nathanias. Keep an eye on that as well. Amazing PvP.
And thank you all here for coming out to enjoy these games, and I'm sure they're going to get better as the tournament goes on. Is StarDust still in a pretty comfortable position? He won the first 2 games. He only needs to win 1 out of the 3 that they have to play. 1's down in favor of TaeJa, so he's still got 2 games where he can do something.
Yeah, that is points.
That's a great point.
No pun intended.
Nope.
TaeJa on this map, I really expect him to play this really standard, not try anything too funky. And it's going to be up to StarDust to maybe try something like some blink play, this is so strong on this map. I remember MC told me when he had to play this map, he knew it was going to be a free win, even against Terrans, like very high caliber Terrans. I think it was Jack G or something. He was like really, really confident. He told me Terran on this map, free win. You just blink all in, it's done. Done deal.
Yeah, usually...
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a free win, but personally, if But it's definitely going to be very, very strong.
Oh, it's funny you say that, because usually the night before a tournament, I see TaeJa out until 6 a.m. just, you know, going crazy and telling me that every game he's going to play the next day is going to be the easiest game of his life. And didn't see him last night. So I wonder what's going through his mind right now. As we all know that TaeJa is the party animal. Do you think this goes to the 5th game with TaeJa winning this next one? Or you think this is favored towards
If TaeJa
Stardust?
wins the next one, oh my god, I would not want to be Stardust. After winning those first 2 games, which I wouldn't even qualify as like real games. It would be crazy if TaeJa was to come back.
All right, well, let's find out here. 2-1 in this best of 5. Stardust just needs one more game. Down here in the bottom right-hand side is that man. Is the red Protoss player playing for my insanity. It's StarDust. Also known as Cheese Dust is another name he likes to go by.
Oh, there's a few other ones.
A few other ones as well, but some need to go past 9 p.m. And then up here to the top left is the blue Terran player. Playing for Team Liquid, it's TaeJa.
TaeJa went for the cool supply depot placements, where he can make sure he can see any kind of oracle sign, or where he could see blinked stalkers blinking, in which case that depot actually would die in supply blocking. But yeah, early on, you either get your depot at your ramp or over here. It's a pretty good thing to do. Also against proxies, because you're going to be able to spot them. That's 12. Yes, finally.
Yeah.
I want like the most standard PvT ever. Just like in the first game,
Just build the Reaper, TaeJa. Just build the Reaper, go for the expansion, just play normal game. What is some of the most common plays that we see from Protoss here on this map, would you say? Especially on the European server where Stardust plays in the European region for WCS.
I think a lot of blink play, but probably like say blink opener, 3 gates, and then a robo observer, some light pressure with blink or heavy pressure, but at the same time you don't commit too much to it. You don't do a lot of gateways, because that would be an all-in. You take to Colossus behind it or charge. In the new patch against the new Widowmines, I would definitely say Colossus, but going for something like what I just said, I think would be very solid to play with on this map.
All right, well, we are going to see a movement out here from the scouting SCV, just to have a look if he needs to do something a little bit different than the Reaper wants to do, which is just get over there and scout in case there was something which could change his plan here, whether the Reaper needs to stay at home or whether he needs to throw down a bunker, yada, yada, yada.
I'm surprised about 2 things, by the way, about Stardust's play.
Yes.
He doesn't scout early on, 1, and he doesn't wall off in his base. We've seen a lot of Protosses wall off to make sure that Reaper cannot get in there, see what he has to see, and then get out.
Stardust has nothing to hide, man.
Yes, he has everything to hide, but somehow makes it work.
He's a magician.
Going into this series, I really thought that TaeJa was going to do a lot of scouting, try and make sure to see what he's up against, and then adapts.
Fancy footwork, TaeJa, as he picks down that probe with an SCV.
And the best commentary you could come up with was, woo!
Ooh.
I'm glad you considered one of the best, Apollo.
I know, it's these subtle differences that make you stand out.
If only I could learn.
You definitely can. You can make silly noises. It's very easy to do. Right.
2 extra gateway barracks, sorry.
Again,
from
yes.
TaeJa, but a little bit late. Usually, you start the second one as soon as you can. But I like the placement. This is kind of Pult-esque, making sure you don't have the reactor and tech labs too close to the ramp where the Protoss could blink in.
Well, look at this. We actually have, is that the Stalker and the Mothership Core moving across the middle of the map here? There's, again, no bunker from TaeJa. Is this not a little bit difficult to deal with if, for example, more units are able to come across?
He's going to have to send back the Reaper. And, actually, that comment said, he barely finishes on time. So lucky. And he's going to have to wait for more Marines. And if Stardust gets up here, TaeJa has to pull a bunch of SCVs. Does he want to lose those Marines? What the hell?
Well, 2 Marines down, 3 Marines going to go down.
If you leave TaeJa, I'm going to hit you.
And there's the 4th gun, and only damage.
What is he doing?
Really.
I don't understand. You just pull back in this situation.
Well, he does manage to pick off the Stalker.
Still, he lost 4 Marines from nothing. What was Stardust going to do?
Stardust has thrown down 2 extra gateways behind this. He's not messing around, Todd.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to hide, but he's got everything to hide at the same time here. Mothership Core's going to escape. That Reaper, hey, you, get in there.
Oh,
Even spots the probe. That's a little bit lucky there.
That's really cool pickup, because Stardust, by doing the 2 extra gateways, he really wanted to commit to that aggression. And now, instead of that, he's going to have his tech delayed by a lot. He's not going to have any Robo, he's not going to have any Twilight for quite some time. And it looks like he wants to commit. He wants to stay the course.
Reaper, what do you find? And you find a couple of extra gateways and don't really see anything else with that.
Bunkers time, at least one of them.
I think one bunker, at least.
I wonder if TaeJa could think there's possibly Blink on the way here. Because he saw a bunch of gateways, but he didn't get to the back of the middle line.
Yeah, there definitely could have been some tech structure towards the back there, which he wasn't able to see, with 3 gateways being finished up. But we are just going to see StarDust move away from his original plan here. Robotics facility, Forge thrown down, and even Mothership Core poking in once again.
Wow Gate was pretty late, by the way, again. Because he made the Mothership Core, the Stalker, he didn't have the gas for everything at the time. Maybe forgot about it for a short period of time. TaeJa is playing this Pulse style, and he knows. 3 barracks, lots of bioforces, late medivacs. He's getting an eBay. You think he's maybe worried about DTs?
Well, the eBay at this point, before the factory, yes, definitely could be just a bit of a safer precaution here. I mean, he'll definitely obviously get +1 with this, but yeah, definitely a safer approach to get that earlier on, rather than trying to go for the factories, unless he's saying that if StarDust will play with Blink again and I'm not going to get too much done with my medivacs, then I can just get the +1 first and then use the medivacs. But at the same point, at 10 minutes, 10:30, he's still going to be at the same position he would have been anyway. It's just a little bit of a switch up.
Remember the 3 words, man. It's coming. It's happening again.
No Warp Prism though, man. Just
hey.
wait. I know. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Will you calm down?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm calm.
First observer is going to be out on time to spot this attack. This is actually a pretty big army here by TaeJa. StarDust has to warp extra zealous, I think, to make sure he can defend.
Oh, 29 supply to 19 here. Where's that Mothership Core? Is obviously going to have to activate Photon Overcharge immediately here.
Yeah, remember what happened in the first game, though. He took quite some damage. Okay. Almost as good as mine force fields.
But not as good as mine. And a sentry gets picked off there, and TaeJa just does return and retreat out of it. Starport is almost finished, not too far away. Of course, it was delayed rather than getting the +1 first hit.
Blink Colossus, but no War Prism just yet for StarDust, who's, well, I guess upon seeing this army, you don't really have a choice. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get a War Prism.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip my Colossus, it's fine, I got plenty of time.
This is pretty standard of a game we're seeing here, actually, this time. TaeJa adding extra barracks that is natural. He's going to go up to 5 barracks before taking a third, if he takes a third. Do you think he takes a third, like before?
Yes, I do think he does, eventually.
That was not a question.
Yes, he does. He does take a third eventually.
Okay. On the right-hand side, lots of upgrades just completed.
Colossus comes in to save the day. A lot of units are still going down, though. The Colossus will push this back for now. No thermal lance started, which is...
Yeah, because he doesn't have the gas. If you make Colossus, +1 armor, then +1 attack, Blink and Stalkers, let's just say on 2 bases you can't have this much gas. So this is
a start.
And also, it's more important to get 2 Colossus first. Usually you start thermal lance after your second one, which in this case, that's exactly what happened. Because then it lines up very well with your 3rd Colossus if you want to go for pressure or if you're being attacked by a lot of units. Say an SCV pull as well.
Well, double starport coming in here for TaeJa, and 3rd base has been thrown down. The next thing we kind of need to start to look at TaeJa, does he and when at all get a 2nd Engineering Bay and Armory potentially? Is he trying to build up the Viking count now with these double starports? Is he going to use these 3 command centers to give a full sense of security to StarDust and also help to build up his SCV count for a potential pull?
Yeah, since he's not going for more upgrades, I think we might see an SCV pull here, which this 3rd base, what would be the right word to describe it? Basically, it's just a fake. He's trying to sell a story.
Yeah, and I mean, with an observer over there which actually spots it is kind of handy for TaeJa. Drop with 3 medivacs, and if that is his plan, which it may seem to be with 4 Vikings at a time...
The units are out of position for StarDust.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, TaeJa doesn't want to lose his units, but of course, if there's an opportunity to get damage done to slow StarDust down, then absolutely fantastic, go for it. And he's in a bit of a grey area right now. There's nothing to spot these. And he is going to be able to go into the main base. And StarDust, you got to come back, man. You can't be out there. You're going to lose everything.
Man, that Nexus is probably going to be targeted here. The Photon Overcharge is being used very, very late. He's going to be targeted.
StarDust is going over to the other side. He's just going to say, all right, whatever.
Hashtag YOLO. He has to counter.
Oh, no, he's coming back. He went back. Oh, no, he's not. He's going. I'm watching the mini-map and this Protoss army's going one way, then
Stardust
the
cannot
other, then
make
the
up his
other.
mind. This is looking very bad for him.
And there are so many Vikings now at this point. There's about to be 4 more to pop out, and if these Colossus go down, there is a lot of units. And TaeJa says, all right, if you want to fight, I'll bring the SCVs, I'll bring the boys. And they are going to take this engagement. And let's just find out how fast these Colossus are going down. I was going to say how fast they will go down, but TaeJa's trying to stop the Vikings, but this is it, this is over. The indecision of StarDust was, it's costing the game. GG, and TaeJa is going to tie this up, and we are going to game number 5.
By the way, I think just to piss us off, he made an armory which finished just before the game ended. And he was still on one single engineering bay. So I think TaeJa realized that the 3rd base was late enough that he could get an armory and just be okay anyway. He had enough Vikings. The double starport, this timing hit too late by StarDust. If he had hit a little bit earlier, and he had made sure these medivacs didn't hit them that early,
all right,
that late.
As the crowd, as you can see on screen, getting really behind TaeJa, who's now won the last 2 games in a row. He's making that comeback from the 2 games that were just given over to StarDust here. But the strategical question that I want to ask you, as a Protoss player, you're moving out, you get dropped by 3 medivacs. Do you continue, or do you come back?
It depends how far you are and what your composition is. If you think you can end the game. The thing is, a lot of the time you're going to play for a draw. Because your next side, they're going to get sniped. And also, it's going to be very, very hard to kill you. Like, ideally, what you want when you go for this attack that StarDust went for is for the Terran to fight in a horrible position and not to be dropping you. If he's dropping you, it's like the worst case scenario. So in this case, I think he had to come back. He had to see this coming somehow. He didn't take control of the watchtower. There was even a Marine on the right-hand side, so he had to know something was up, baby.
And what happens if there wasn't a second starport?
There would have been a little bit less Vikings, but TaeJa, he had so much anyway that I don't think it would have mattered.
All right, well, going into this... Oh, sorry.
As much as I said I wanted to see 5 games, I did not think... I was not sure he was going to go to 5 games, and I did not think this series was going to be played like this. I mean, StarDust, he takes a photo of the audience before the match starts.
He's like, well, I'm only in this booth once today, I best get a picture of it.
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought he was going to win 3-0, turn around at the end of the game before TaeJa leaves, which actually would have been hard. Take a selfie of himself winning the game with the victory screen behind him.
Imagine the one player that does that, we probably won't see it. Imagine him winning,
Potting is watching
coming out of the booth, cheering with the crowd, grabs his phone, turns around, takes a selfie into the audience. Imagine the one player
You realize Potting is probably watching, right? You're giving him ideas.
He's like, I wish I was there, man. Like, my 100K's gone down the loo and could have taken selfies into the crowd. All right. So the last map, which will surprise a lot of people, it's not Altazim Stronghold. It's not Frost. It's Polar Night. And usually in a best-of-5 series, in Terran vs. Protoss, it's usually these 2 maps that aren't bad enough to be vetoed out, but not good enough to be picked in the first 4 starting order. And we're actually going to Polar Night here. And as an update for people watching on stream and Justice and watching in the crowd, SOS was able to beat Oz 3 games to 1 and advances on. But now it's time to get into this, the 5th map, the decider between these 2 players on screen, who is going to the quarterfinals and who is going home empty-handed, like 15 other players, I suppose, in this tournament. Up here at the north of Polar Night, as the red Protoss player playing for my insanity, it's StarDust. As the bass booms in the Spodek Arena. Down here spawns the blue Terran player, which seemed to have won the crowd over with his last 2 games. Playing for Team Liquid, it's TaeJa!
Liquid TaeJa versus my insanity StarDust. Redemption. After losing the first 2 games and leaving preemptively, TaeJa comes back and brings it to the last game. You think he definitely has to play something standard here? Gas 12, look, it's going to be Gas 12, and I think he's found a winning strategy here. And I really feel like he threw StarDust off his game in the previous game, just by attacking as early as he did. The force fields were missed, and then from there it kind of snowballed into TaeJa being confident enough to steam under photon overcharge and trade bioforces for Zealots, Sentries, Stalkers, Colossi, Carriers.
You know what I'm seeing, Todd? You know, sometimes when I cast,
This is about to be really deep.
this is deep, man. You know, this is next level deep. All right, listen to this. TaeJa gave away the first 2 maps to win in a flame of glory 3 games in a row. He just said, you know what, I could win 3-0, but what is cooler? Winning 3-0 or just dropping the first 2 and then win 3 in a row?
And making it obvious.
But only I can see that. You see dead
Oh, well,
Nexus.
now you told us.
I see the... Yeah, well, I've spoiled
You
his plan.
enlighten us, man.
I've spoiled his plan. I see you, TaeJa. I see what you're doing. You're not impressing anyone.
Actually, he is. All right, he's getting the Reaper here. Probably going to be a reactor and a command center. Most standard opener. I really would like to see TaeJa keep on mining that gas and getting a quick factory behind this. I really think this is one of the best openers right now, especially since StarDust is not scouting. If you actually see this, there is a few ways you can adapt and make sure you can counter this well. But now StarDust, he hasn't even been scouting, which, as I say that, he sends a... Where's this probe going, by the way? What is going on?
He's going for a hike.
Stargate or Twilight hidden on the map?
The view is beautiful down this right-hand side.
He's actually rallied that. Oh, he wants to dodge the Reaper, I guess. He knows... What? No? He's going back to the middle of the map? This is like... Okay, okay, I don't want to say anything. You talk, Apollo.
You know what? I love talking, Todd.
By the way, there wasn't a Reaper. Oh wait, there was. He's actually in the main. Oh man, I completely lost track of that one.
It's okay, man. I'm gonna hold your hand. We'll get through this together. It's okay. Reaper's in there, does a bit of damage, and is going to escape. But we do see the regular follow-up. StarDust goes, sees the natural again, sees that the command center is there, and just retreats back with his probe for now.
I'm surprised he didn't go into the main. Ideally, like, the command center you can expect, you can see easily, but what you want to know is if there is a factory or not.
Yeah.
And in this case, TaeJa again is going for what I would call the pulp build. I know there's a lot of Terrans really mad right now. They're like, I was the first one. No, you weren't.
This is my build back from 2010.
Polt was the first one in the world winning games against Protoss with this build, so it's his build, I'm sorry. Tech Lab's gonna go down, it's in the back of the main. Blink will never reach the Tech Lab.
Mr. Bitter right now sitting in the Red Bull office saying, I told everybody about the Reaper expand years ago, but nobody listened to me. It's my build. All right, we've got the Robo coming down now for StarDust, and also the Forge. So again, just regular play. He's going to be looking towards getting up the Observer initially, going over towards Colossus most likely. The Reaper's going to go and try and get this, and he does spot the robotics facility and the Forge there, so a perfect scout there.
Yeah, StarDust, he has his go-to builds. Blink and Colossus, he's 1-1 against TaeJa right now in this series, with this one build against the TaeJa playing fairly standard. So now, going into this game, he's going to have to make sure he pulls it off really, really well. I'm pretty sure he's going to be expecting, again, the same kind of aggression as we had in the previous game. He's going to be easier to defend on this map. You cannot get into the main very easily. Trading and the natural is going to be hard. And StarDust definitely... Look, he's placing his Stalkers. You always get 3 Stalkers like StarDust getting now. To be able to kite Marines, forces, rushing you early on, so that you're not going to have to use the Photon Overcharge except in extreme emergency, which probably going to be the case too.
This may be the case, yeah.
Oh, but I think TaeJa knows. Look at the way he's going.
He's trying around this right-hand side, and StarDust, if he's not paying attention, which he is, does pull back in time. The probe, unfortunately, is dead, and so is the Observer, which keeps away StarDust from really going over the other side, finding what's up. It's gas he has to respend.
Very, very late factory, by the way. He hasn't even started yet. He starts now.
He went for the engineering bay first again, decided to get for the +1 attack and then the factory.
Interesting, all that's happening. I really like the building placement of StarDust, by the way. Maybe not that he doesn't wall in his main, but at least you see he always puts his Twilight and his Robo Bay in a position where it will be very hard to drop it and pick it off.
You think 5 barracks again from TaeJa or 3rd command center?
Oh yeah, 5 barracks for sure.
Oh yeah.
You don't change a winning strategy, man.
That's
well,
right.
actually, kind of lost the first game, if we can call it that. But no, it just went so well for him in the last game, and in the last game he was playing pretty well, as opposed to the first 2 where he looked very, very shaky. Even though he left early, he was not doing that well. So in this game, actually, does he see the Observer? You think he's gonna scan? Doesn't have a... Oh, he has a scan already, actually.
And
goes for his team. Oh, wow.
2-3 Marines get picked off there, and the stem is activated. Not the best situation there for TaeJa, but it's not terrible. And Starport is on its way now. Obviously a little bit later than he could have had it if he wanted to, but he's gone up towards his +1 attack as mentioned. And Stardust is sitting pretty. I mean, he's about to have his first Colossus out. Blink is on the way. He's taken really no damage. He's adding on his gateways now. And there is the 4th and 5th barracks as well.
TaeJa saw that one Colossus, he knows exactly what he's going to be up against. I'm surprised there is not more gateways, by the way, by Stardust. He went for 7 gateways before when he went for that build. Now, he's just going up to 5. Does that mean he's going for a 3rd base? Does that mean he's delaying extra gateways behind this? I guess we'll find out in a second, but he's kept pro production for now. I think he wanted to throw on the Nexus, maybe?
I don't know.
The probe on the right-hand side.
He's got so little information in this game. Because his observers have been picked off and they've been put so defensively, he's seen nothing. He doesn't know what the follow-up is. Is it 3 barracks? Is it 5 barracks? Is the command center down? Is there not a command center down? And I think that helps, obviously, for him to pick up what he wants to do.
TaeJa going for the 2 extra barracks. I like the positioning too. They are forward. He makes sure that with those 2 extra barracks he made around his natural, he can basically get into the fight very, very quickly with those units because, well, Tian doesn't have warp gates. And Stardust going up to his usual 7 gateways. Not surprised by this, but he's going to be an expand. He's not making probes. You think he goes for a 2 base again? He tries
I guess it depends on the success of these units that TaeJa does. If TaeJa loses them, then I think he can bounce back and counter, right? If not, then he has to play this slower.
In the first game, he pulled this off very, very well. But in that last game that we saw, it just didn't work at all.
Well, let's find out, because TaeJa's now got his medivacs ready. Blink is finished, and that's quite big. There's a lot of Stalkers out. If TaeJa makes a wrong move, then we could see this go in favor of the Mayan starting to play. Remember, this is 2-2. Best of 5. 1 game left. This is the 1 game left to decide who goes home, who goes through. And TaeJa's going to stem a couple units forward, sees the army in position, and does decide to pull back here. We do have double Starport and 4 Viking production again.
Yeah, but Blink is ready, and the Stalker count is very, very good. It's 11 right now. Thermalance on the way. I like Stardust. This is a strong timing here by Stardust. If they fight now, I would definitely give the edge to Stardust. Even though TaeJa is quite Molder heavy, which is going to be good.
That's a lot of units here. He turns around and these Stalkers are like, all right, fight, fight, fight. No, 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 run.
Yeah.
And do decide to go up to the level platform.
The position in which they fight is very, very important here. I'm actually surprised TaeJa steamed everything. It looked like he was going to get in there, then he just ran away.
Yeah. But he's buying himself time for whatever he wants to do right now. Or more importantly, to increase his army count, the Viking count, the most important part here. And he is in the lead with that.
Yeah, TaeJa has great vision, by the way, on the map. He had a Marine on each single expansion that Stardust could have taken. He had the watchtowers for as long as possible. He knows his 3rd base is much earlier than his opponents. I just love the way he's played this so far. An armor is going down behind his... But no second eBay, though.
He's supply block now, and it's going to be really difficult to play aggressive with a supply block
The supply dead even in this game. This is where we're actually going to have a super close game as our final game.
You could have print screened if you were fast. It would have been equal supply, but now you've missed it. TaeJa's up, and he's about to drop in a very similar scenario like in that last game. Stardust is out in the middle. There's 4 medivacs dropping in. What does he do this game? And he immediately goes back, comes forward again.
No, he's going to attack.
What is your decision, Stardust? Make the decision, stand strong.
He sends the probes in, but this is going to get sniped. But Colossus is about... No, he's actually halfway through down in his robo.
TaeJa sees this.
He's going to pull the SCVs. This is bad for Stardust.
He's going to attack Todd. He's decided he's not going to defend. He's going to go for the attack if this is how it's going to play out. And there we do see the Viking count is so incredibly high. The supply count very similar. And how much damage is going to be dealt? These Vikings being controlled very well, all clumped up together. And coming to the left-hand side to make sure the Colossus die fast. And look at this, another Nexus going to die on the other side of the map. 3 Colossus still remain though, and that's a lot of damage being dealt. 2 now. Viking count dropping. Only 3, 4, and that's a lot of Stalkers remaining. But at the same time, the defense is actually quite good back at home for Stardust. And again, TaeJa's going to go. 1 Colossus trying to be targeted down. The Stalkers need to get the Vikings. The Colossus need to survive here. 1 gets picked off. The other one is going to get picked off as well. And that's the big damage output. And that is gone, leaving a handful of Stalkers. 1 more Colossus comes in. 30 supply to 50. How in the world is this happening? 35 supply for TaeJa, just a couple more or less for Stardust. And oh boy, probe count, SCV count identical. But remember orbitals. With the use of the orbitals and mules, he's mining quite healthily on that left-hand side.
How could I not remember?
And TaeJa finds himself in a lead here with the units still being poured out, and Stardust moves over and he's like, Gotta kill the mules, man. I gotta get rid of the mules.
Yeah, but at this point, he has to know this is it. There is way too much for TaeJa. He's actually even landed the Vikings.
He knows. StarDust knows. He puts a grin in. This is going to be a Team Liquid victory here. Unfortunately, StarDust isn't going to get a selfie with the crowd today, Todd. But it is going to be TaeJa that is going to move into the quarterfinals. 20 supply for StarDust. His hands are off the keyboard. Congrats, TaeJa. Don't rage quit again, he says. Good game, well played. TaeJa goes to the quarterfinals.
You know, as mad as I am that Artosis is 6-4-6, I'm glad that your theory came true about TaeJa and why he lost those first 2 games. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or did you believe that, or?
Yeah, man, it's all the sick mind games. StarDust comes out and will go over to his opponent's booth to congratulate him, wish him good luck to move deeper into this tournament. And there is a very happy grin from both players there. And TaeJa survived after losing those first 2 games, and I think a lot of people and a lot of Team Liquid fans, a lot of TaeJa fans were very nervous after those first 2.
Yeah. And that means he will play against Rogue or Life, which is going to be played later on. Would you say he's the favorite against either, or how good is his TVZ in your opinion? After those games we saw, I know you're conflicted.
I'm so conflicted because TaeJa's a god, right? I mean, he's a Terran player. And
there we go again.
Then you've got, for me, Rogue or Life are players in the bottom of the bracket who I said from the very beginning, whoever wins that is going to go deep. And even if they have to play TaeJa, I still believe that now.
Really?
I still believe that now. Life or...
So your Zerg passion is stronger than your Terran bias? Somehow?
I love Rogue and I love Life. I really do. I think Rogue is one of the best Zergs right now. Life has always been one of the best. And I really feel that, yeah, maybe my Zerg
I'm a big fan of both as well.
In,
you know, Life, he's the comeback king.
Yeah.
And the comeback kid.
Yeah, and who doesn't like to see Life perform well? And who wouldn't want to see Rogue do well after his performances in Career and Pro League, his first international tournament, which I think could hinder him today. But it's going to be a good game. I think every single quarterfinal that we're actually getting to see now, lining up in the bracket, is actually looking really sexy.
That means we have 4 Protosses, by the way, in quarterfinals. We could have had a 5th one if StarDust had won here.
I know.
But TaeJa said enough is enough.
Yeah, I know. StarDust.
I'll leave them to Pulse, and I'll take care of the Zergs on the other side.
StarDust did one for the team. He did it for the Protoss players. He's like, all right, if I go through this, it's going to be really bad. We got to keep our image low. We got to keep this down on the low. We can't have 5 players going through to the quarterfinals and allows TaeJa to go through. But good to see TaeJa going through and good to see Team Liquid fighting on here.
Yeah.
But I think TaeJa versus either Rogue or Life is just not to miss. Not to miss at all.
There's not a single match that there is to miss.
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, there was a match that there was to miss.
Protoss.
And it was a TVP, it was 91. This one you could have missed.
Yeah, you don't watch the VODs of that, I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to.
Everything else has been pretty sick today here.
And that leaves us with that just single game left here today. We just have, I think, if I'm not mistaken...
No, Revival Jack-G and Rogue Life.
Is that coming up next, is it?
Well, you ask... I'm the analysis guy, dude.
I know, and I'm just the guy that talks a lot. I don't know. Maybe we should actually ask the experts on the analysis desk in a couple of moments' time. I think we will be having a winner's interview in a couple of moments as well, so do bear with us as we get that sorted out. But yeah, a good series, a crazy one, and I'm sure you had fun, I had fun, I know you guys had fun as well. But now, it is time to hear from the man himself on stage.
Your winner, and the second Terran to advance today, Liquid TaeJa. You said last year that you only ever win the small first place prizes. How eager are you to win this one?
예전에 만화 작은 대회만 우승한다고 했는데 지금 요거 1억짜리 있는데 얼마나 우승하고 싶은지.
일단 우승하면 좋을 것 같긴 한데 제 실력으로 좀 무리가 있을 것 같고요. 그냥 최대한 끝까지 열심히 할 생각이에요.
Obviously it's going to be good if he wins the 100k, but he thinks right now himself that his skill level is not there yet to win this whole tournament, but he will just see how far he can get and he will try his best.
Well, in those games 1 and 2, it's not at all what we're used to seeing from you. Can you just talk to us a little bit about those games and what your plan was?
첫 번째 판 2개 다 졌는데 왜 졌는지 그냥 설명해주라고. 빨리 지고 그냥.
요즘 게임할 때 너무 긴장이 너무 심하게 돼가지고 좀 제가 유리한 것 같아도 불리하게 느껴져가지고 빠르게 지지치게 되는 것 같아요.
So lately he's getting really nervous when he's playing, and when he's behind, like he doesn't feel, he can see it, and then he's getting stressed and just GGing out really fast, and it's because he's like not really confident at the moment.
So after you went down those 2 games, what did you do to change your mindset?
지금 0대2 지고 있다가 3대2로 이겼잖아. 근데 어떻게 0대2 지면서 어떻게 지금 이겨야 한다고 무슨 생각으로?
일단 끝까지 2대0이었어도 제가 진 게 아니기 때문에 끝까지 최선을 다하면은 이길 수도 있으니까 마지막까지 최선을 다했어.
So even when he's down 0-2, it doesn't mean anything because it's a best of 5 and he can actually win it. So after 0-2, he just told himself, okay, I can still make it, I can still win it, and I will give my best to do it, and that's what he did.
Well, congratulations again. Very well won. Good luck tomorrow. Liquid TaeJa. And we're going to head over to the expert desk so they can analyze his eyes the stuff.
Eyes and eyes and eyes and eyes the stuff, indeed. What a fabulous game, first off. Hard to know where to start because there was so much to talk about in it, but let's set the scene right now. We said on this desk, apart from this lunatic, that TaeJa was going to win the match. Everyone else said TaeJa was going to win the match. He goes in, and suddenly, within the blink of an eye, I mean, literally, Apollo looked away from his screen at one point, looked back, and he was 2-0 down. And yet, then he heads into game 3. Do you feel that maybe StarDust just extended a little bit too much and went, I'm going to do something crazy in game 3 because I've got a 2-game... I mean, did that cost him in the end?
I guess so, but I think it was more up to TaeJa than StarDust. Like, he is the type of player that even if his opponent is up 2-0, he can just say, okay, I'm just going to win this now. And it kind of feels to me like that's what happened.
I mean, he does have a fabulous mindset to, you know, you heard him in the interview, he says, okay, I'm 2-0 down, but it doesn't matter, it's a best of 5. That's why it's a best of 5, I can still win. He's not like you and I, where we go, oh no, I'm 2-0 down, I've got to win everything, I've got to do everything. He's not like that. He has a completely crazy good mindset to come back.
Yeah, and that's the mind of a champion. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. His performances in all of these tournaments, he appears that. My wild card didn't go that well.
It almost did. It wasn't bad. At 2-0, you were looking like a genius, Kalaris.
It was really funny because I didn't expect it quite to go like that.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah, I went and sat up in the audience just to soak up the the atmosphere up there because it's crazy good. And everyone around me was kind of like, wait, is that 2-0? How can that be 2-0?
It was bizarre.
They were completely, I mean, they went quiet, and that's the first time I've heard them quiet all day. You guys have been amazing all day. First time I heard them actually go quiet at 2-0 down. But let's put it into context right now. You mentioned it, you said that's the stuff of champions, and it really is the stuff of champions, Artosis. We've seen some phenomenal comebacks over the last few years. Where does this rate amongst them? Or or did you get the feeling for it?
You know, I felt deeply watching it and watching him come back, and it really excited me because I really wanted him to win because I'm on this nice little streak right now. But I don't think it was like the greatest comeback. It's more like he stopped playing weird and won.
Yeah. It felt like
for me, it's not like a sick comeback.
Okay.
And I actually kind of feel bad for StarDust because I feel like he was so close to knocking out TaeJa, someone that like has won so many championships compared to StarDust 1.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of camaraderie at the start with the handshake and not letting go. They're great friends. You know, they've drawn comparisons for the waves as well, which is quite fun. You saw him go into the booth as well, and he had some fun in the text. He didn't seem that disappointed, I guess, but I think when he looks back, he probably will be, right?
I mean, you always want to win in every single match that you possibly can, even against a close friend like TaeJa, especially when he's so good. But you know, StarDust is like such a nice guy. I don't think he ever takes it too hard when he loses.
He's always smiles. He will just keep smiling and turn up to another tournament and probably win that one or something down the line. So we'll see.
No, it's a shame because I was looking forward to the selfie with the crowd, but not to be this time. I think we do hopefully have the opportunity to go into our 5th map. Artosis, talk us through. Let's drop you into the map right now. 5th and final map. and take us through what eventually would be the end of the game.
All right, so at this point right here, we see that he loads up the 4 medevacs, and this was like kind of a dangerous move, I think, for TaeJa, because if we look at the mini-map right here, where the rest of the Protoss army is, it's kind of sitting right in the center. Now, if he happened to go straight down right there, I think there's a decent chance where he actually takes this game, but he's kind of hemming and hawing, and TaeJa knows it. So he's going for like a base trade, because if we look at the 3rd base, we actually have a Marine standing there. So TaeJa's pretty aware of what's going on. Like, basically, StarDust is waiting a ridiculous amount of time. Look at that, 140 supply, 2 base, like 5 Colossus all in.
Do you think at this point, because we were talking as we went through it, do you think at this point, this was StarDust's game to lose?
I felt like it was his game to lose a little bit earlier on, but this was really the point. I feel like this is the deciding moment, where if StarDust just made a beeline for TaeJa's base, he can take this, but instead he's kind of hemming, hawing. He doesn't really know where the Terran army is, and when TaeJa lifts off and actually gets all the way into the main base of StarDust, I mean, look, his army is not on the way there yet. We can see TaeJa's army is over that halfway point. If we speed up a little bit, you can see that he actually gets up there pretty quickly, and StarDust still, he's just sitting in the same location until he sees these medevacs. And that's too late. You need to get there at least at the same time to win the base trade.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much, Artosis. Right, almost time for a break. Also, I wanted to remind you that you can carry on with the predictions. Please go to the facebook.com IEM page. And if you haven't liked the page already, like it first. Then go to the tab and make your predictions. Currently, I'm not going to reveal what everyone's scores are, but there is one man who is particularly proud of his record right now because he's on a bit of a BlizzCon run, and that's Artosis. Curse, you what? 6-0 right now. Do you think you can do better? Head over to the facebook.com IEM and try your luck. We'll be back after a very short break with more from the StarCraft 2 Intel Extreme Masters World Championship.